Hello, and welcome back to the Point Laugh podcast with your hosts,
Skyler
and Kaylynne.
Ring free for your pleasure.
Oh my god, amazing. Okay, one time we're just gonna wear like chain link gloves, and they're just gonna be a little like clink.
Like I'm gonna wear like a you know, the Ren Fair you can buy like a full suit of armor. I'm gonna have like a metal armored hand, where it's gonna be like it's gonna be like two tin cans hitting against each other.
Oh my god, do you know what's so funny actually? So I got a haircut. Everyone, if you want to see,
behold it. She looks so good, dude.
Go on the YouTube. So I got like a mini bob, like it's like above my chin.
So your name's B.O.B., so they call you
Bob. It's short, and I was just telling Skylar this, but I'll retell it. Well, first of all, the reason why this reminded me is because when I was getting my haircut, my hairstylist was like, "Oh my god, like what perfume are you wearing? That smells so good." And I was like, it's so funny that you ask, because it's literally the perfume, the like little rollerball perfume that I got at the Ren Fair for like $10. And I swear to God, it's like the best perfume I've ever used. I don't know what.
I'm also wearing my Ren Fair perfume. What are the odds?
Oh my God. It like smells a little old lady-ish, but now that she complimented me specifically on my perfume, I'm like, no, you know what?
Oh
Actually,
my
I
God,
love it.
what is that?
Yeah, literally. And she was like, that's so good. And it like is the most long-lasting perfume I've ever had.
It's an oil, right?
Yeah. I love the scent. It's so potent. Like, it's so good. And I was like, yeah, now I'm gonna have to go back every single year to Ren Fair.
And they're like affordable.
Yeah.
I did the same thing at work. I brought, because I remember the one that I'm wearing right now, that's like my favorite for like every day, is I think called like Angel Type, because I'm like, ooh. And then perfume.
You bought like 3, right?
I got 2.
Okay.
My second one that I bought was Aphrodite, just because I'm like, I have to. I don't even know what it smelled like, but I'm like, yeah, I'm sure you'll be good. Because it's like, you could try them on, but this perfume cart at the Renaissance Pleasure Fair is literally like 1,000 jars. You could not sit there and sample all of them. And of course, they're all floating in the air. There's no coffee bean, like, in a jar to, like, help me differentiate. So I'm like, I'm going in nearly blind. What happened was our friend Keely walked out. She's like, I got this one. And I smelled her wrist, and I'm like, which one is that? And I, like, beelined it for that one. Anyway.
It was also crowded, and the Ren Fair was like,
people.
Well, was just about to end too. There were like 10 minutes left until we were all gonna get kicked out, so we were like frantically trying to sample the perfume.
So I got the little Aphrodite one, and it smells pretty good, but it's like also like a little old lady-ish for my taste. And then so I brought that one to work, so I could have like a work perfume in case like I want to do like stuff after work.
Oh my God, so
and
smart.
Then I put it on at my desk, and my boss goes, "What is that?" So much so that she tried to go on the website and buy some herself, but like every time I put it on, she's like, it smells so good in here now. And I'm like, oh my God. She's like, it smells like a dupe for Chanel No. 5. I'm like,
yeah,
that's what Chanel No. 5 smells like? I'm too poor. I don't know what it smells like.
Well, and that's what my hairstylist said. She was like, oh, it kind of smells like one of the like I think it's Le Labo perfume. Sorry guys, it's not in my tax bracket. One of the like Le Labo. Well, I feel like I'm saying it wrong. I don't know. It sounds weird when I'm saying it, but she was like, oh, it smells like one of those. And I was like, oh my God, maybe. So I'm like, maybe they're all just dupes probably. So I don't know, maybe I could just find this off one of those websites that are like dupes. They do have a website, but it's like, it looks like it was made in 2003 and like never updated. So it's very difficult to navigate.
Oh yeah, it's rough. It looks sketch.
Yeah. But anyway, back to my haircut. So I got like a little mini bob, and when after she dried my hair, she straightened my hair. This
is so fun.
But after she dried my hair, she straightened it so that way, like, you know, it's a blunt cut that, you know, there aren't any like extra things sticking out, because it's so short, like it would be very noticeable. So like I totally understand why she did it. However, this is a haircut that has to have like the tiniest bit of texture to it. It has to have, even if it's just a little like flip of the ends, like something. It has to have something.
A zhuzh.
Because otherwise, it looks like you're wearing like
berries and cream.
Yeah, it looks like you're wearing like a poorly cut wig. Just because it like sits at kind of an awkward spot, and if it's so straight, like, yeah, you literally look like berries and cream. Like it was one of those moments where I was like, did I make a mistake? like, will I regret this? Like, holding back tears, like, it's just hair, it's okay. But I knew in the back of my head that I was like, you know what, it's just because it's super straight. Like, once you wash your hair and let it air dry,
super straight,
it'll be good. It'll be good. And it looks good, and I like it, and I'm very, very happy with my choices.
I'm of the firm opinion that, like, because my mom used to make fun of me for going to the, was it my mom or my sister? Whatever. A woman used to make fun of me for, like, I couldn't go to any hair appointment without, like, a full beat. Like, I'm talking, I needed to look, like, runway ready. And they're like, why? Because then in the bowl, like, they wash, like, half my foundation off, like, my forehead and, like, cheeks, whatever. Especially if I was getting my hair dyed or, like, my bangs were getting cut and I suddenly had, like, little hairs all over my face. My sister's like, you know, I'm sure it was my sister. I'm sure it was now. She was like, what's the point? And I'm like, you don't understand. If I make even the smallest minute change to my appearance and I'm sitting there and my hair is, like, gone and I'm in those fucking capes and I don't think I look good, I'm going to want to kill myself. I was like, I need a full beat. I need my best outfit to try to, like, ease myself into the change of a new hair. I can't go barefaced to a haircut.
No, and I completely agree. And also, I do think that might have been part of the reason why at first I was like, I hate this, was because I did go barefaced to the appointment, which, mistake. No, I completely agree. Why would you not? Because here's the thing. I feel like when you get a haircut, when you're at the salon, you need to see its full potential. Like, when I'm getting a cut, like, I want to see what it's going to look like when, like, it's styled, when I have my makeup on, when I have an out, like, I want to know what the haircut is going to look like when I'm at my best.
My expectations.
Exactly. And I feel like, yeah, if you, I don't know. That's part of what you do. I agree. I usually do that, but I made the mistake of not doing that this time. And maybe that's part of it.
Did your mom do the Ipsy bag thing?
No.
Have you ever done the Ipsy bag thing?
No, but I know what it is.
My mom would, we were such vultures. My mom would get the Ipsy bag, and then my sister and I would descend. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I'd be so sneaky, and I'm like, Mom, this was your Ipsy bag? And I would have already taken what I wanted. And she's like, they shorted me, huh? And I'm like, yeah. It's crazy.
It's so weird.
So weird. But sometimes Mom would be like, this lipstick doesn't work for me. And I would put it on. I'd be like, this is ugly. I'm never going to wear it. It's because I was fucking putting on, like, bright-ass lipstick, barefaced, unwashed hair in my pajamas. And I'm like, why does this make me look bad? Girl, you're never going to wear lipstick like that. So I was giving it an unfair shake. And so now every time my mom's like, you want this? I'm like, hold on. I got to do my face. Yeah. And then I'm like, still no.
You're like, but worth a shot. So today before I came, we film at Skyler's, before I came over to Skyler's, I hate driving in LA, and I forget how much I hate driving in LA and how much I specifically hate parking lots, especially Trader Joe's parking lots on a Saturday at 1:30 p.m. It is perhaps the worst thing. It is, in fact, like the 8th level of hell. Like, it is horrible. And I also had other driving over here was an adventure. And that's all I'll say. That's all I'll say. I had to get gas, and that was a whole thing. And I, like, kind of cut someone off, but it was my fault. But also, I had my turn signal on well before they were even in that lane. So I kind of feel like they should have been expecting me to get in that lane. Maybe I'm just a bad driver, but it's fine. But yeah, so I made a pit stop at Trader Joe's. Nearly every single spot is taken. There are 4 cars trying to turn to get into, like, one section of the parking lot. Another car is, like, trying to make a U-turn in the middle of the fucking parking lot because there's no spots on this side. No. There's 3 cars trying to, like, exit, and another car perpendicular to them trying to get through. Ooh. And then in the street, once you exit, like, out of the parking lot, cars are turning. It was a very horrifying experience. But anyway, we're talking about Trader Joe's today.
It's like they know what they're doing when they make their parking lot the size of a shoebox and also have products that entice, like, girls. And everyone knows that girls can't drive. Girls and gays can't drive.
Imagine Pride Month?
Imagine if you're both.
What are you to do?
My Civic is so fucked up.
So today's drink of the day, I had to do a little Trader Joe's. I actually haven't had this before. And we're going to go a little bit into how Trader Joe's receives their products. But I will say, so this is the Trader Joe's Very Green 100% juice smoothie. And allegedly one of their suppliers is the company that makes like naked juice. So this is supposed to be basically like the Green Machine naked juice. And I've never had it before, and I fucking love the Green Machine naked juice. Probably because it's mostly sugar. But it's delicious. And when I was growing up, my mom would let us drink naked juices, and I was like, oh my god, this is so good.
The only sugar you're allowed to have.
Yeah. Because it was like healthy. But I mean, there's a lot of sugar in fruit, so I'm not like that. This is not the conversation for that. Anyway, I'm gonna try it. I've never had it before, and I will compare it to the green. Oh my god, it smells like the Green Machine.
I don't know what I know what that smells like.
You haven't had that?
I haven't.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of giving bog water, but
okay, it is like the most disgusting shade of green. But yeah, it's so fucking good. It is so fucking good.
Of course there's sugar in it. You have to hide the fact that there's broccoli and parsley and garlic in here.
Yeah.
And it like...
What are the ingredients? Let's see. Apple juice, banana puree, mango puree, pineapple juice, kiwi puree, spirulina, chlorella, natural flavor, dried green blends, broccoli, spinach, barley grass, ginger, blue, green, algae, parsley, and garlic. That's the greens blend.
Yeah, so of course they have to have sugar in, otherwise it would taste like what?
Well, no, but there's
garlic.
There's no added sugar in that. It's just from the fruit.
How do you do it?
Yeah, delicious. Oh my god, off to a great start. Perfect. So I've been like not waiting to do this episode, but when I thought of this episode idea, I was a little like, why have I not thought to do this yet? So today we're going to be talking about Trader Joe's. Well, first of all, what are your thoughts on Trader Joe's?
That's my bitch.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, like, it's always, Trader Joe's is kind of like, you have to earn how good it is, because again, like, you have to brave the parking lot to get there, and there's never enough baskets or carts, and it's always, like, the layout's always a little different, but, like, once you get in there, it's paradise, but then you have to leave, so it's always, like, you gotta earn your way in here, man. You can't just walk up in here. Who do you think you are? You gotta earn your right to Trader Joe.
Well, and they're always out of stuff, and okay, to be fair, I did go at like the end of the day, so they were probably cleared out. But last week when I went grocery shopping, I went to Trader Joe's. It was probably it was like 8 p.m. on a Tuesday. I don't know, some weekday. So you know what? Maybe that was my fault. But oh my god, they were like cleared out. There was no mint. I couldn't find any mint. They didn't have any limes, like loose limes. All the limes were like the bagged ones, and I only needed like 2
cucumbers.
Yeah, they're just like always out of stuff. Wait, okay, we have so Skyler's roommate, our beloved friend Hannah, is going to share her opinion on Trader Joe's.
Oh, that's your first time on the pod. Congrats.
Welcome.
Wow. Wait, also, did you get a haircut?
Yes.
It looks so cute.
Thank you.
Okay, anyway. So I hated Trader Joe's. I think it was mostly because I had a bad day at work. I was so tired. And we lived in Hollywood at the time, so
we always had bad days.
We always had bad days. And was I driving?
You were.
Okay, I was driving, and driving makes me upset.
Yeah.
So we went to Trader Joe's like after I had come home from work, but I didn't even like go inside. We like went just straight to Trader Joe's. And it's small in Trader Joe's. There are no brand names that I know. Everyone is nice to you. It's very upsetting to me. I didn't like it at all.
Because I was like, we have gift cards. Like, my boss got me Trader Joe's gift cards. We have to go. And I'm just like, don't you love it? And you're like, I want to go home.
Yeah.
And then on the drive there, you're like, we're never going.
Literally, I got like so angry. I like actually yelled at her. I think it was the first time I like got upset with Skyler.
Oh, no.
Because of Trader Joe's.
I'm sitting in the passenger seat shaking, and you're like, we're never going there again. Do you hear me? Look me in the eyes. You're not looking at me. And I'm like, no, like how? And you're like, you can.
I was like, you can do whatever you want. But I'm not going ever again. So So I hated Trader Joe's, and I avoided it for a year, maybe.
Oh my God.
But then when we moved here, I was like, all right, fine, we can go again. And I was like, okay, this is fine. They have food that, like, kind of slaps. So it does still make me upset that everyone's really nice. Because I don't want anyone to talk to me. I don't want anyone to come near me.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're like checking us out, and they're like, "Oh, I love your jacket," and she goes, "Okay." They're like, "Would you unless like the cashier is like also army, you don't want anyone to talk to you ever."
Yeah,
usually they're like,
that's
I
correct.
went to that concert, and then suddenly you're like,
I know. I'm like, oh my God, no way. But yeah, that's how I feel about Trader Joe's. And that's it. It's my
Appreciate
story.
it.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Anyway, let's get into it. So who's Joe? So
Joe Mama.
there is in fact a Joe that the chain is named after. There is a Trader Joe.
We did it, Joe.
The mystery's been solved. Episode over. No. So Trader Joe's gets its name from its founder, who would have guessed, Joe Coulombe, who only recently passed in February 2020 at the age of 89, and he lived with his family in Pasadena.
In the arms of the angel.
So I feel like I do feel like if we really tried, and this would be incredibly creepy and I wouldn't actually do it, but I do want to make the joke that we could go to Pasadena and find Trader Joe's home and be like, oh my God, it's like the Lloyd Wright house. Yeah.
Now.
But
This is so dreamy. This is those videos of like parroting that woman who, once the gates were lifted on Disney World, she like fell to her knees. She's like, the castle, and then everyone was making fun of like, oh, it's my holy place, and like they were just us falling to our knees in gratitude and crying over Trader Joe's house.
And the first Trader Joe's opened is in Pasadena and is still like running. So actually we could make a field trip there and it wouldn't be
Maybe we'll go to
creepy.
the first Starbucks and that's not considered cringy. Why can't we go
No.
to the first Trader Joe's?
Yeah.
Liberals.
Let us live. Explain that.
Explain that, lib.
So we're going to do a brief little history. There's going to be some dates. There's going to be some names, but bear with me. So in 1958, this is where our timeline starts.
Ooh.
While working for a drugstore chain called Rexall, Joe was asked, I'm going to call him Joe. I know traditionally in like historical recounts, you call people by their last names. He's the Joe. He's the Trader Joe, so I'm just going to call him Joe.
It's faster to call him Joe.
Yeah, so...
It's Joe.
He's Joe.
I've given them enough money that I can be on a first name basis.
That's so true. That's so true. So Joe was asked to test the launch of what was meant to be a 7-Eleven competitor called Pronto Markets. So he ran 6 of these markets in the LA area. But then Rexall asked him to liquidate them. And Joe was like, I'll do you one better. I'll buy them. And he bought them out. He felt that the Pronto Markets were way too similar to 7-Eleven, and that's why they couldn't compete, because there was already something in the market that was like providing that need to customers. So he decided to take the business in a different route, and in 1967 he changed the name to Trader Joe's.
I usually hate it when that happens, when like someone's like, I'll buy out your company and I'll change the name and I'll change it and name it after me. But this time I'm like, it's kind of charming. I was going to say this earlier. I feel like as far as all the grocery store levels, if I could assign like a political party to all of them, Trader Joe's is such like it's the most liberal of all of the grocery stores, because you walk in, maybe not as far as practices, but as far as vibes go, because you walk in and Walmart is like heavy capitalist, like you know, near borderline Trump supporter, because like you walk in, the lights are so heavy, it's always
they sell rifles in the store.
So overstimulating. Like every time I go into Walmart, I feel like I'm going to kill myself. Like it's just so bright, so obnoxious. I get so overwhelmed, and I don't get overwhelmed in grocery stores very easily. I feel like I don't.
Really?
I, like
I always
Target is like, Target is liberal and Trader Joe's is leftist, where you walk in and Trader Joe's is like, the lights are always at a very comfortable level. The signs are all handwritten.
You think Target is liberal?
Yes.
Interesting.
I think just because they're also like, they're less accessible than Trader Joe's. Target's where like, yeah, this is nicer, but like you can, like you're paying for it.
I guess.
So like it's way more corporate, and Target is so butt fucking expensive, but they do have really good stuff.
Yeah.
But they're like, we're not like Walmart, like you have to wear your shoes here. And like they have good stuff, but it's where the bougie bitches go with money, so that's why I'm like, I don't trust Target. I mean, it's better than Walmart though. I'm
gonna say it. I'm not a fan of like the Target interior design. It's like way too white. And
Yeah.
then mixed with like the stark contrast of the red everywhere, and it's very bright, and it's just like I don't know. Every Target is a thing. I will say oh my god, I don't remember the last time I went to a Walmart was to get my vacuum like over a year ago. But that's because there's not one near me, or there was, but then it closed down. I don't know.
And
if it
Aldi is
reopened.
communist.
Yes. Wow.
It's like you gotta
Actually, we're gonna
bring
talk
your
about
own.
Aldi
You
a
gotta
little
bring
bit
your own
later.
fucking cart. You can
Yeah.
have like reusable things. It's very for the people, and that way
They let their employees sit.
Yeah, Trader Joe's is like honestly like the it's giving Margaritaville. Like everything is like all the
It
employees
is.
seem very well paid and very happy, and like they have all these benefits, and they just walk in, they're like, "Hey, howdy, welcome to Trader Joe's." And
Trader
you're like,
Joe's gives me like commune vibes.
Yeah, and, like everyone like I feel like it's like Hawaiian shirt,
Yeah.
pina colada sipping
Like,
grocery store
welcome.
experience. We have all organic Oreos here, brother. That
Yeah.
shirt looks really cool on you.
They're like, oh, I love that kimchi fried rice.
Good
Like,
choice.
yeah.
Namaste.
namaste. So, taking us back,
Sorry.
bring us back, 1967. So, well, actually, technically 1970. Let's jump forward to 1970. So, there were two events in the U.S. that informed the merchandising of Joe's new store concept. In part to the GI Bill, the number of college-educated people in the U.S. was steadily rising. And in 1970, the Boeing 747 entered service with Pan Am Airlines. So, I'm going to go a little bit, if you're listening, be proud of me. We're going to talk about the Boeing 747. So the Boeing 747 was the first wide body airplane available for commercial use. And this was important because it could hold more rows of seats, meaning more passengers on the plane, which lowered the cost of flying by about 30%, which made travel and international travel more accessible. So Joe felt that American supermarkets at the time had trouble satisfying the tastes of a better educated, more well-traveled public. So in 1981, Joe told the Los Angeles Times, "I have an ideal audience in mind. This is a person who got a Fulbright scholarship, went to Europe for a couple of years, and developed a taste for something other than Velveeta, ordinary beer, and Folgers coffee." Is he a little elitist? Maybe.
Yeah, again, like I did say earlier that like even though, and you know what, that's also, you can say that to the political spectrum too, is like even though Walmart is for like the quote unquote unclassy people, they are still for the average person.
Well,
with
that's
no
what I was
money.
gonna say. I'm like, Trader Joe's gives me white liberal vibes specifically, just because like, we'll go into it a little bit later, but like they are kind of known for only opening stores in very wealthy areas. For
Yeah.
example, I have to drive, if you know anything about like LA neighborhoods, I live in Van Nuys, which isn't like a particularly expensive area, and the closest Trader Joe's to me is in Sherman Oaks, which is a very wealthy area. So it's like they're, I don't think, ever going to open one up in Van Nuys unless like a bunch of gentrification happens. But so that's a whole other issue that we will go into later. But for now, history of Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
So to this day, much of the appeal of Trader Joe's is their global food selection and unique flavors that are difficult to find in the average American supermarket. Today, they sell jerk-style plantain chips, ube mochi pancake mix, jalapeno limeade, and recently started selling horchata ice cream. So Joe knew his target demographic, and he created a unique and beloved store. So then, in 1979, after leading the chain to success, Joe sold the chain to a German billionaire, Theo Albrecht, who was also the co-founder of Aldi. And Joe remained the CEO of Trader Joe's until he retired in 1988. So he sold off the chain, but he remained the CEO. So that's why I think my dad told me this one time. A lot of people think that Aldi and Trader Joe's are like sister stores. They're not technically. It's not like a Hollister Abercrombie situation. But they are owned by like the same people. But apparently, this Albrecht guy bought it as like a family investment. And his family still like owns and runs Trader Joe's. So this is like a not so fun random fact, but it was on the Wikipedia page and I was just like, what the fuck? So in 1971, now this is before Theo bought the chain in 1979, but in 1971, Theo Albrecht was kidnapped and held at gunpoint for a ransom of 7 million German marks, approximately $2 million US at the time. His kidnappers were eventually caught by authorities, but only half of the money was recovered. And he later unsuccessfully claimed the ransom as a tax-deductible business expense in court, which is just very businessman of him to do.
Honestly, if I'm kidnapped, I'm trying to get everything I can out of this situation. And if that means that I get to write my ransom as a tax write-off, I'm going to try.
Yeah, do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. Anyway, back to Trader Joe's. So Trader Joe's really gained traction in the 90s. And during that time, they quintupled. Oops. They quintupled its number of stores between 1990 and 2001. And in 2008, Business Week reported that the company had the highest sales per square foot of any grocer in the U.S. And I'm a little like, well, yeah, their stores are tiny. Like that's why it's so crowded all the time, is because the stores are like a quarter of the size of your average, actually probably less than that, probably like an eighth of the size of like your average Walmart.
Yeah, you want to go to a Walmart, it's like the size of like an airport runway.
Yeah. So they and they like continually kind of reported that type of sale where they had the highest sales per square foot.
That's all they got.
Yeah, which is a little like, that seems like cheating, but like it's like, they're still a successful business.
You had those like ice stores that were like literally buildings, but they were the size of a closet. Mm-hmm. They could be like, we have the highest sale per store size, because their store size is like one person can stand at the ice stand. They're like, you want ice?
It's like, technically, I guess. So as of January 2023, Trader Joe's has 560 stores across 40 states, with 192 of those in the state of California. Lucky us. I'm pretty sure there's like literally 2 or 3 in the state of Iowa. I remember growing up, so I grew up in Iowa, and my grandparents lived in like the Chicago suburbs. So of course they had Trader Joe's readily available to them. But we did not back in Iowa. And every single time we would go and visit our parents, we would make sure, or our grandparents, we would make sure I would like beg my parents. Actually, I think my brothers probably did too. Mason, confirm, deny. We would make sure to go to Trader Joe's specifically for 2 products, both of which I'm pretty sure they still sell. One was like the alphabet cinnamon cookies. You get the giant tub of the alphabet cinnamon cookies. Oh my God, they're so fucking good. And the second one was the white chocolate raspberry Dunkers. Have you ever had those?
Dunkers.
They're so fucking good. I'm pretty sure those were my dad's favorite. And then we would get the like alphabet cookies for like the kids. But delicious. Why are you laughing? What?
It's gonna sound so random, but you just pulled a memory so far out of my cranium. Have you ever watched Tall Girl?
Yes.
It became like an inside joke in my friend group in college, because the love interest in that movie speaks with like a thick Swedish accent, and her best friend is named like Dunk or something like that. And he calls him Dunkers. And so I would be like, guys, guess what I brought from Trader Joe's? And there's this big tub, and we're like, Dunkers, and we have to because I was like, oh yeah, and I said in like a thick Swedish accent, and I'm like, oh God. You're probably like, why did you say it?
I know I wasn't. Well, I was just like, what? Why are you laughing so hard? Like, what is happening in your brain?
I totally forgot about Donkers.
Donkers. That's so funny. But they're so good. They're so good. So you might be thinking, 42. What are the states that don't have them? And if you weren't thinking that, I was thinking that, so I wrote them down. So states without Trader Joe's are, shocking, Alaska and Hawaii.
Oh, good.
Who would have guessed?
Oh, Hawaii would hate it.
Mississippi.
Good.
Montana.
Makes sense.
Both Dakotas,
Also
North and South Dakota. West Virginia, which is actually a little interesting. I would think that they would have it. And Wyoming.
Okay, so out of all of those, Mississippi and West Virginia make the least sense to me. Mm-hmm. Because, like, yeah, Alaska, Wyoming, the Dakotas, Montana, makes sense. The population is 5. Like, you're not going to get an investment on that. And even though the population is like, I don't want your mango sorbet jalapeno ice cream. I want Breyers. But, and yeah, Hawaii is like, hey, stop coming here.
Well, the thing with Alaska and Hawaii is that it wouldn't make sense. And this is if you live somewhere other than California, the prices at your Trader Joe's are probably a little bit higher because they have all of their own products, right? So they have to ship those in. So it's not like, so that's, I think, a big reason why it's not in Alaska and Hawaii is simply because that would be so expensive just to get there, to get everything there. It probably wouldn't be a good return on their investment. And Alaska and a lot of those other states are just have a lot of rural area and a lot of space that like isn't super populous. So
a lot of driving.
Yeah, so it makes sense that it wouldn't be those places.
But West Virginia and Mississippi are odd. Those feel targeted. Like Joe was like, has an ex in West Virginia that he never forgave, and he's like, nah, we're not.
I know. I know. I'm like you have it in Alabama, but not Mississippi. Like what is happening? Okay, so I know what everyone's thinking. What's up with the nautical theme?
It's like it's giving like the SpongeBob end credits.
Yeah. The theme is just so present from the outside of it. They like the little Hawaiian asterisk on the like Joe's, the whole or like hibiscus flower, which is a little like interesting that you're not in Hawaii when you have the, but anyway,
again, Hawaiians would be like, we fuck off.
That's a whole other thing. But it's very, if you've ever been inside a Trader Joe's, it is very themed. So the theme comes from Joe, of course. He developed the idea of a Trader Joe's South Seas motif while on vacation in the Caribbean.
Oh, God.
And also during this time and during the 1960s, there was a big tiki culture craze in the U.S.
Yeah.
So it's actually a direct nod to the fad, and the name itself was a spoof on a famous Beverly Hills tiki-themed restaurant called Trader Vic's.
Oh, yeah. A classic reference.
Yeah.
My favorite.
During the time, it was probably more relevant.
It was, watch it also not be relevant. It's just like a family inside joke that Joe was like, guys, this will be so funny.
But it was some famous like Beverly Hills restaurant, and it was notoriously expensive. But of course, the Trader Joe's in Pasadena provided to be an irreverent and less expensive offering of food and drink. So why do we love Trader Joe's so much? Well, it has a local small grocer feel. One, the stores are tiny. So it does have a small grocer feel to that. But also each store is different. Each store has staff created murals along the store walls that are meant to represent the surrounding area and neighborhood. Yeah. So every single one that you go into has like handmade art that's going to be different at each location. So it feels very like reminiscent of the area and of the culture. And it's like, oh my God, like this is so cool. All of the signs are done by in-house artists, like all of the like chalkboard signs and stuff. Someone in the back is doing those. They're not just like shipped to them, like what would happen with like Target merchandising and things like that. The crate and wood-based designs make it feel like a coastal trading post. Interesting. Overall, the vibes make it feel very like almost farmer market-esque. And don't we all strive to be farmer market hotties? They're also known for having health-conscious products at a very reasonable price. Yeah. Their products have no artificial flavors, preservatives, MSG, genetically modified ingredients, or partially hydrogenated oils. But there's, of course, also a con to that. If you've ever bought bread at Trader Joe's, you gotta freeze that bitch because it is not lasting more than 4 days in your pantry before it molds.
In my experience, that's also why I don't particularly love when Trader Joe's tries to go like Asian with their foods because they're missing MSG.
Yep.
And it's like, why are you so afraid of MSG? Like the anti-MSG lobbyists really just kind of got into our heads because people are like, I love like this one, but like when they try to do like, you know, Chinese food, like it just doesn't hit right. I'm like, yeah it's the lack of MSG in it. It's not going to feel the same.
Oh my God. Okay. This is such a tangent, but I meant to talk about it in the beginning. I made the most delicious Thai curry and I made this like coconut sticky rice with it. Oh my God. It was so fucking good. It was one of those meals where I'm like, I have to stop eating because I'm full, but I cannot wait until lunch tomorrow. Like oh my God, it was so good. And the sticky rice just made it so much better. Okay, anyway. That's it. That's all about the Thai curry that I made. So Trader Joe's also has a ginormous nut and dried fruit selection for all the almond moms out there. Although I literally can't even make fun of this because I have like 4 different flavored almond bags from Trader Joe's in my pantry because they're so fucking good. I have like the Thai chili ones, which are so good. They have smoked mesquite ones that are delicious, and the coconut almonds. They're so fucking good.
I think that's why I always consider, because I know it's like Trader Joe's in general is like very like snobbish in that way, but I also like out of all the major like grocery chains, the most granola. Yeah, like they want to be the hippie one. Yeah. They want to be the one that's like, I mean, you can have your cheese, but have you tried smoked Gouda from the Alpine Mountains of Venice? And you're like, no, I haven't. And someone with like a fucking drug rug and like the tiny John Lennon sunglasses will be like, my brother, along on our journey, we must travel and taste from the various cultures. It's me, Joe.
It's me, Joe.
Knowing that Joe is actually just like probably a golfer.
Yeah. Who knows?
Who just wore Hawaiian shirts to work sometimes.
He was just chill like that. He was just super cool. Actually, my close and personal friend.
We did it, Joe.
We did it, Joe. So they also have an incredibly wide variety of products. They add new products weekly. However, that also means that they're cycling products out a lot. So that is kind of the unfortunate part of Trader Joe's as well, is like if you really love a product, but maybe it's not selling as much for everyone else, it's gone. It is gone. And they also have random seasonal items. Like, I know the pickle chips at one point were seasonal. I think that they're like officially a staple at Trader Joe's, but I don't know. I know they had these salsa verde chips that Nick was obsessed with, and they don't have them anymore. The past couple times I've gone, they don't have them.
They have corn dogs, but the batter, it has pickle juice and crushed like they're pickle. You don't understand. They are pickle corn dogs.
Mm-hmm. See, it's like, where are you going to find that? Where else are you going to find that but Trader Joe's?
And they have like a pickle ranch, but they're like, that's out of season right now. And I'm like, then why am I here?
Why am I even here? But no two stores are exactly the same. So like there's a chance that your store might or might not have something that a store on the other side of town has. Or it might just not be in stock right now and could show up a couple weeks. So it's kind of like you're taking a gamble every time that you go, which makes it kind of fun. And I will say the really nice thing, I remember when I was in Chicago, I was like trying something, and like the guy at the checkout line who was totally flirting with me because they're hired to do that.
No, they're in love with you.
We'll get into it later.
Don't take that away from you. All right, they want to flirt with you.
But he literally told me, I was like, oh, like this is the first time, like I'm trying this item. I don't know if I'll like it, but like whatever. And he was like, oh, if you don't like something, like you can just take it back and we'll give you your money back. Like if it's like, it's opened, you try it, you can literally just be like, hey, I didn't really like this, and they'll be like, oh my god, no worries, here's your refund. They have really fun seasonal products. In the fall, they have so many pumpkin products, including pumpkin ice cream, which is so delicious. They're also sustainable-ish. They are one of the, like, of course they're not perfect. They're still a corporation, but they are one of the better ones out of like all of the markets that you can go to. So in 2021, Trader Joe's claims that approximately 99.5% of all products were either sold in stores, donated to food recovery partners, or composted. They have a neighborhood shares program where Trader Joe's donates 100% of the unsold products to local food recovery organizations. And in 2021, this amounted to more than $349 million worth of products to nonprofit partners. And nearly 63 million meals served to local communities. Awesome, sick, winning.
Joe.
They're also working on improving their packaging. If you've ever had their like produce bags and you're like, why does this feel so weird? It's because they're compostable.
Waxy.
Yeah, it's because they're compostable. So they've been taking steps to make their products more environmentally friendly. In 2019, Greenpeace delivered a petition of 100,000 signatures for Trader Joe's to phase out single-use plastics. So in response to this, they committed to stop offering single-use carry-out bags nationwide. You can still get them, obviously. Replace its produce bags with biodegradable and compostable options. They replace styrofoam trays and sell more loose, unwrapped produce. In 2021, they stated that they had improved over 200 products by eliminating excess components and increasing the amount of recycled and sustainably sourced materials. They also removed over 4 million pounds of plastic packaging from their products in 2021. Examples of improvements include removing plastic mesh packaging from produce, produce, converting plastic clamshells for produce to sealed fiber trays, and increasing the number of frozen entrees in a plastic tray with a compostable option. So they're obviously not perfect, but like pretty good. They're doing a pretty good job.
They're at least living up to their like granola aesthetic.
Yeah. It's commendable. So how do they keep their prices so low? And I started talking about this earlier and then I never finished my thought. So circling back to like 20 minutes ago, when I was talking about like a Trader Joe's in like Iowa, for example, versus like in California, the prices might be a little higher in Iowa, because there aren't as many stores there. So like the distribution path is like farther, it takes longer to get there, like there aren't as many stores to stop by, so it's not as like efficient. So it might cost a little bit more in like areas like that where there's only like a couple in the state, but in California at least, like Trader Joe's is one of the most affordable grocery stores. So they don't have any marketing cost to their products. They utilize social media and consumer engagement as their marketing. They have their frequent flyer newsletter, which shows off new products and seasonal recipe ideas.
Do they do those anymore? I feel like I haven't seen them in a minute.
Yeah, they do. They have them either in the front of the store, or you can sign up via email, or if you go to their website, there's a section where you can look at the frequent flyer.
Oh, okay.
They also have limited options, which decreases the overall cost. The average grocery chain stocks about 30,000 different products, while Trader Joe's stocks about 4,000. They have the advantage of only selling one version of each product, whereas for example, if you go to Target, they're going to have like 5 different brands selling virtually the same product. Yeah. They also private label most of their products. So when I was talking about the naked juice, this is what I'm talking about. So they order most of their products from third-party manufacturers, which agree to sell some of their items under the Trader Joe's label. Many of these brands sell same or similar products under their own names for a higher price. The catch, though, is that Trader Joe's and its suppliers have to keep the agreement secret. Suppliers aren't allowed to say that they supply Trader Joe's, and Trader Joe's isn't allowed to say who supplies them. However, there's a little sneaky thing you can do if you're really curious about what brands are behind Trader Joe's products, is that you can look at product recall alerts and see what items overlap. Yeah. So with these product recall alerts, you can see that Trader Joe's pistachios and Wonderful pistachios had recalls at the same time, which you can perhaps conclude that the same supplier of Wonderful pistachios supplies Trader Joe's for their pistachios. Naked Juice is also thought to be a supplier of Trader Joe's, and the Trader Joe's pretzel chips are likely supplied by Snack Factory pretzel chips, which are like the brand name that you would find in like Target or Walmart. There's about $1 difference between the pistachios and smoothies, and about a $2 difference between the pretzels. And the big reason for that is because you're taking out the middleman, right? Yeah. So instead of having like Snack Factory, so you have the supplier, and then it goes to Snack Factory, and then Snack Factory has to sell it to Target, and then Target has to sell it to you. You just have the supplier selling to Trader Joe's, which sells it to you. So it takes out that middle person, and you can save money that way. However, they're not free from controversy. Like, I know we've kind of been talking up Trader Joe's a lot. They do have like some problematic elements. In late February 2021, according to a reporting from the Daily Beast, which is that a reliable news source? It doesn't sound like it.
It's but like freedomeagle.net. It's like Hillary Clinton is a robot, confirmed. It has been characterized as a high-end tabloid by Noah Stockman, the site's editor-in-chief, from 2018 to 2021.
You know what? If TMZ came out with it, I would believe it.
That's fair.
But so according to the Daily Beast, a glorified TMZ. Actually, TMZ is probably better because TMZ is actually really like,
they're trying it around.
They're on point. Like, most of the stuff that they come out with, they're on point. Anyway, this is not about TMZ. This is about Trader Joe's.
Sponsored by TMZ.
So in late February 2021, a Trader Joe's employee in Manhattan was terminated after he sent a letter to the company's CEO recommending that stores adopt more thorough COVID safety practices. He was rehired, but only after the story received major attention from media. The company denied that they fired him because of the letter, but I mean, who knows?
Yeah, you can always if you want to fire someone, you can pull out any reason you want to.
It's like, who knows? And according to the New York Times, the company has worked to undermine unionization efforts. So that's not great.
That's so, You know what? I was gonna say that's so weird because it seems like so many Trader Joe's employees are so live up to union code, but that one might just be California. Two, I mean, Starbucks has unions, and Starbucks as a conglomerate hates unions at the same time. So two things can be true.
Yeah. And we'll get into it. Trader Joe's actually does treat their employees very well. But there are these things as well. There's also the whole economic exclusivity and gentrification that comes into play with Trader Joe's. Despite being known as kind of a neighborhood store with affordable options, they're, like we said earlier, their locations are almost exclusively in well-off neighborhoods. In 2022, the typical Trader Joe's customer was a married person living in an urban area between 25 and 44, earning at least $80,000 a year.
Well, that ain't me, sis.
And when choosing to open new locations, the chain will typically look for areas where the median household income is over $100,000. So because of this, it systemically contributes to the food desert phenomenon, where residents in certain areas might have limited access to nutritious foods because they don't have Trader Joe's in those areas. Obviously, that was a joke. There's other reasons too, but that's part of it. That's part of it. It's because Trader Joe's only opens up in wealthy areas where they already have Whole Foods, they already have natural grocers, they already have Sprouts.
Gelson's.
They already have options to healthy or not affordable, but healthy food. And then Trader Joe's is what about us?
We have I feel like rich people use Trader Joe's as oh, did you hear, Jonathan, they have a new fun little food product. Not because they actually need it to get organic apples, but because they want to try the ube mochi ice cream.
Yeah, exactly. They've also faced opposition for contributing to gentrification. Between 1997 and 2014, Zillow found that homes grow more rapidly in value if they're closer to a Trader Joe's or Whole Foods, with homes consistently being worth more than the mean U.S. home.
Yeah, so, opening up a Trader Joe's is one of those, stereotypical things where well, there goes the neighborhood. Yep. Here comes the white people.
Yeah.
Where a Whole Foods, where a Trader Joe's go, white people follow.
That's true. That's actually really true. Okay. Down to brass tacks. Do the employees flirt with you?
Please don't ruin this for me, Kaylynne.
I'm going to quote a Glamour article that it so perfectly sums it up. You look up. An angel in a Hawaiian shirt is speaking. It's your Trader Joe's cashier, complimenting your taste. They're making eye contact that feels more direct and profound than anything you've ever experienced from a parent. You mutter something that doesn't make grammatical sense about how, the scalloped cracker trio really is the greatest. They're bagging your groceries and asking about your day, their biceps bulging non-confrontationally under their short shirt sleeve. You feel a radiating warmth like a molten edge of a microwaved reduced gilt mac and cheese. This Trader Joe's employee is flirting with me, you think to yourself. Isn't that perfect? So are they? Maybe. They might be. No one's saying that they're not. They could be. There's no way to disprove that. However, they're just nice and happy.
Also, it's their job.
Yeah.
I want to say right now, I joke around. They're of course they're flirting with you. They're in, but in general, same with any other sort of wait staff, they're not actually into you. Don't ever take an interaction with a Trader Joe's cashier as oh,
they want my number.
Yeah, no, they are just doing.
I'm gonna wait for them to finish their shift.
Yeah, don't do that.
But yeah, it's more likely that they're just happy and nice. Because Trader Joe's actually does pay very well and give good benefits, and care about their employees. So who would have guessed that all of that would create a positive working environment? There also was something going around, I think it was a couple months ago or something, where people were saying that Trader Joe's specifically trains employees to flirt with customers and encourages them to do so. That's not true. There has been lots of Trader Joe's employees who come out and they're no, they never say that.
I mean, at this point, if I'm a cashier at Trader Joe's, I might do it just because at this point it's expected of me. Yeah. And if it's so ingrained and so people expect you to flirt with them, you're the weird one for not doing it. Then I'm I might as well play along with it. It's the stereotype. It's the culture. People will ring up at Trader Joe's, expect you to be ooh, good choice. So what are we doing after this?
Yeah. Well, yeah, and also a lot of people mistake niceness for flirting.
Yeah.
So that's also part of it. But this is actually a quote from, I found a Reddit thread, and an employee commented on it, and this is what they said. So, The pay is great. The benefits are unmatched. Every store is run differently, but at my store, we have almost complete autonomy and management exists to support us as we work. We run the store. We make merchandising decisions. We handle the demos too. At my store, we treat everything like a team effort and help one another out. The mates, which I think it's funny that they literally are called mates, given the whole,
It's
tiki
like
theme.
Disney calling their employees cast members.
Yeah. The mates get their hands dirty and will switch in and out of their bird's eye view role or crew member role. For example, if I'm drowning in my section that I currently manage, I can hit up a mate for help. If there aren't people available to come over, that mate will hop in and take orders from me. I had to leave for a month to take care of my mom who was dying. I got the call at work and had to leave immediately for a 3.5-hour drive in the middle of writing my order for a section. I approached my captain. I just can't with the mate, captain, and crew member. I approached my captain and told him what was up, but I needed to finish my order before I left. He said, "It's your mom. You need to go now. There's lots of people here who can do that order, and if not, I'll do it myself." I didn't know how long I'd be gone at the time. A few days later, I called the store to update them. The captain answered, and I told him I had no idea how long I'd be gone, but that I had to do it. And he said, hey, call when you come back. I'm taking you off the schedule. Let us know if you need anything at all. Now get off the phone. Good luck. I'll never forget that. Aye,
Captain.
So, oh my God. Sorry, I didn't even, guys, we're at the end. I didn't even realize. Trader Joe's has also been known to take employees to like outings and bonding experiences, which of course help contribute to the overall friendly co-working atmosphere. Yeah. So really, like, again, they might be flirting with you. It's possible. No one's saying that they're not, but they're probably just like happy and nice. And some of the other like comments that I read on this Reddit thread that I'll, again, like always, guys, I will link all my sources. But on this Reddit thread, everyone was like, yeah, like generally they hire really nice people and like everyone is friend, or not everyone is friends at the store, but like people are very friendly at the store. And because of like all of these other factors, like people are able to bond at the store. Like I don't know, I always love the dynamic between, even literally today, it was so funny when I was checking out at Trader Joe's, the like guy at the cash register and the bagger, they were just kind of like joking, and like the guy who was bagging the groceries was like a lot older than the guy who was like ringing everything up. And I think my total was like 1936 or something. And he was like, "Hey, that was a good year, am I right?" And he like nudged the guy next to him because he was old. He was making fun of him because he was old, but it was in like a friendly way. And it was funny. It was cute. I was smiling. But yeah, they're just like, yeah, if you treat your employees well and like you have a management structure that is supportive and not like restrictive, then yeah, like people are going to enjoy working there and people are going to be nice.
Also,
and be nice to customers.
Bar for nice cashiers is so low that I think people think that they're doing the most when you're just so, because like a Walmart cashier, if they spit on me, I'll be like, yeah, it's fair. Just like we're just
like,
used to people being like, all right, cash your card, here's your receipt, bye. But like even someone going like, "Hi, what are you doing?" We're just like, "Oh my God, they're in love with me." Just because like the bar for cashier employee interactions is so low. Not that I'm like mad at other cashiers for like not being in love with me all the time, but like
you should be. No.
But yeah, I think like it only seems like they're doing the most because other cashiers are like, "I'm not allowed to sit down. I hate it here. Get out."
Crazy. So to end everything out, we're gonna do a little taste test. I brought some snacks, some little snackies, and I think most of these are new products, so I have not tried these. I'll be interested if you have. There's one that I know they've had around for a while, but it's just such a like notorious Trader Joe's item that I had to get it. So here are options. So we have, these are new. I know that these are new because they were on the new products tab on their website. They're the Me Krob Snackers, crispy, sweet, tart, and savory Thai rice noodle snacks. And this was the item that the cashier was like, "Oh my God, these are so good." And I was like, I haven't had them before. Then we have the spicy chakri mix, crunchy, spicy Indian style snack mix. We have those. And then last but not least, this is the one that's not a new product, but it's such a like notorious Trader Joe's item that I have not tried. I don't know if you've tried them, but they're the jerk style plantain chips.
I have not.
Yeah. So these are our little tasties. Hannah, would you like to join for the taste test? Okay, we're gonna try the jerk plantain chips.
Wait, go like this.
Yep.
Do this thing.
Cheers. Cheers.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
Oh.
Delicious.
Oh, there's a lot. Excuse me.
No way.
So
There's no way.
there's a lot of seasoning on it. So when you first eat it,
It's not the
is there
same.
cilantro in it?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, but you like it, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's fine.
If I start swelling up, no one look at me.
Those are actually like good. I didn't think I was gonna like those.
I know. Well, they're like covered in seasoning, and the seasoning is so good, and like the little crunch is really good too. But then once all the seasoning is kind of like gone, it just tastes like a plantain, which is like a pretty mild flavor. But I'm doing like a full review.
I mean, like we're doing a taste test on an audio.
Yeah, on an
You don't
audio
have to.
medium. Like I'm trying to let you
Wait, can I
guys
do
into
some
the
ASMR with the
experience.
bag?
Yeah.
Yay.
Ooh. That's good. That's good. Yeah, what are our thoughts on the jerk plantain chips?
Two thumbs up.
You're
Two
good?
thumbs up?
I'm
Good.
getting a little aftertaste, but that's just me.
Yeah.
Having
I mean,
an
there's a little,
ingredient I can't
there's a little
have.
like, oh yeah, there's a little bit of cilantro in it, which Skylar is allergic to,
Coriander.
but-
It's the
Oh,
same.
I
Oh,
see.
coriander. Oops.
Wait, coriander is the same thing as
Yeah.
cilantro?
It is.
Why do they have different names?
It depends on where
Riddle
you...
me that.
I didn't come up with shit.
Oh my god, interesting. Okay, so these are the Microb snackers.
Ooh.
Oh, it's a little
Thank you.
heart. Oh, cute. Oh, Hannah's is a little heart. Okay, these are the ones that the Trader Joe cashier was like, oh my god, those are
They
so
look
good.
like baked rice.
Yeah, they're Thai
Aren't
rice
they?
noodle snacks.
Okay, I'll just fuck myself. That's fine.
Clink.
Oh!
Oh my god, these are so good.
Oh my
Wait,
god.
Excuse me?
these are so good.
Oh my god.
Okay, rice noodles, shallots, cashews, glucose, cane sugar, garlic, coconut sugar, tomato paste, tamarind paste, distilled vinegar, chili sauce, sugar. These are so fucking good.
It tastes like crack.
Oh my god.
Uh-oh.
It's like it just tastes like a Thai like noodle dish,
It
but
does.
in
Oh my
like
God.
a
In flat form,
crunchy
yeah.
Oh my god.
yeah, in like a crunchy guys, if you've lived in a Trader Joe's, run.
Oh my
The
god.
Me Crop snackers. These are so
They were
fucking
definitely
good.
like the reason I cried out is because they were way more crunchy than I expected. So I definitely cut the fuck up out of my mouth because I didn't bite it right. You know that Netflix show where they have to make their own snacks? This is what they wanted. This is the type of reinvention that they were looking for. They're like, I
That
want to make a
is
meal into a
really good.
snack, but they all kept failing. The worst Netflix show of all time. Hannah and I, we lost our mind because it was so bad. Everything about it was bad. But like, this is what they wanted to
And
replicate
it's
stuff
really,
like this.
really good.
Oh my god, dinner?
just
So good.
I just add water and rehydrate these, and this is gonna be my
Just boil
dinner.
them. Okay. Ooh. Now we have the spicy, I think it's chakri. It's an Indian snack mix.
Oh.
Or Indian inspired. I mean, who knows the
This
authenticity?
is like a handful type deal.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah, this is a handful type deal. Yeah, it's probably my least favorite.
Ooh.
I mean, it tastes
Ooh.
like... You don't like it?
Mm-mm.
I don't hate it.
I can taste the herb.
Oh.
It's very herby.
It's like a very traditional, like, Indian spice blend.
Yeah, it's got a lot of the aromatics that
Yeah.
usually I like, but it's got the double herb in it.
Oh.
I don't think, but it doesn't say that it does.
It just says spices. That's what I like. I was reading that and I was like, oh fuck. And then we poured it out and I'm like, I see little green bits. It's not enough, but it definitely has like those aromatics. Where like usually
Yeah.
For you.
for the jerk style plantain chips, these actually by like ingredient list do have cilantro and coriander in them, but they have like a lot of other flavors that mask it a little bit, so I can't taste these. But in like traditional Indian style like aromatics, like you taste every flavor that's in it way more. It's way more of like a balanced dish. So like I feel it.
I'm too much of a baby. There's like almost too much flavor. So now
yeah.
I'm like, And it's all like, since it's like dried, it's like stronger. So
Yeah,
I'm like,
it like really hits the back of your
Yeah, so
throat.
Because like in like Indian food and like curries and stuff, you can eat that with rice or naan. You can kind of like dilute it how much you want. But like this is just a
That's
dry.
just straight, yeah.
It's like eating the actual flavor packet with like a spoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's still like it's way more flavorful than I anticipated, I guess. But I'm like,
Okay, I think ratings. I feel like I can speak for all of us. I think number one are definitely the microb snackers.
these plantain chips though.
They're
Yeah,
really
number
good.
two.
Fuck my ass.
Those are good. Those are good.
Grab my ears and fuck my
And
butt.
three is the spicy chocolate mix. Yeah, but
like
bad.
can you get a spicy
Yeah.
chocolate mix at Walmart? What about these jerk style plantain chips at maybe Target? Not really. Can you get microb at Aldi?
yeah, like you're not finding these. You know, I'm like maybe you could find the plantain chips at like a Whole Foods or something, but like that's like the allure of Trader Joe's is that they have these little snacks that like you're not going to be able to find anywhere else.
It's definitely giving I studied abroad.
Yeah. And
First
Joe,
semester.
You know what? Joe knew his audience. He knew his audience.
How many times can I say we did it, Joe, in one video? More.
Yeah, that was our little snack review. Well,
Thank you for the snack review.
oh yes,
Thank you
yes,
for
thank
you.
you for joining.
Thank you for your presence.
And
your warm spot.
thank you
On the couch.
guys for listening / watching. If you wanted to see my new little haircut on the YouTube, we are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. If you want to expand your viewing, I don't know,
Expand your palate.
and if you want to see the lovely packaging of Trader Joe's. And that's part of, actually, that was something that one of the articles kind of talked about, was that like they don't have to market things because all of their items explain exactly what it is and kind of what you can expect from it on the item. Like
Like when you watch Chopped, where it's like fruit flavored circle cereal.
yeah, literally. Yeah, it's like microb snackers and then crispy, sweet, tart, and savory Thai rice noodle snacks. Like that tells you exactly what it is.
Yeah, there's no surprises here.
Yeah.
At most, it's JoJo's, but you know what a JoJo is. It's an Oreo. Use your eyes. Look.
Yeah, look, that was one of the snacks I was gonna get. They had strawberry lemonade JoJo's.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that I was gonna maybe get.
You learned nothing.
I also wanted to try the jalapeno limeade. That sounded good, but
No thanks.
I didn't think it would travel well. So, yeah, that's it. We hope that you enjoyed. And thanks for
love you.
listening. Joe, we love you.
I love you, Joe.
Bye.